I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented.
Being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing...
You would tell it?
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that.
Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I'll let Usher explain that to y'all. I'll let Usher tell that story.
Yeah, he wasn't playing around. Since then, the industry hasn't had any peace. Everyone has been getting exposed. And it doesn't look like Katt is slowing down either, because he just stepped into the conversation again amid the mess between Usher and Justin. He even exposed Usher for allegedly handing Justin over to Diddy for mentorship. To make matters worse, right after Katt revealed all this, Usher jumped on an interview and publicly defended Diddy. But then again, this shouldn't be too surprising, considering that he has been shamelessly defending Russell Simmons, even after Russell reportedly fled to Thailand to avoid arrest. Now, in case you're not fully caught up on what's going on, it all started when Justin and Usher were seen having a heated exchange at Beyoncé and Jay-Z's Oscars after-party. According to TMZ, Usher approached Justin at the party with anger and tension, and the two got into a serious confrontation. As you can imagine, this got a lot of people talking, especially since Usher was the first one to sign Justin when Scooter Braun discovered him. They went from being very close to Justin seemingly wanting nothing to do with Usher. In fact, back in 2024, it was reported that Usher invited Justin to appear during his Super Bowl halftime performance, but Justin didn't show up. It turns out that when Justin signed under Usher, he was introduced to Diddy for mentorship. This is also why Justin ended up spending 24 hours at Diddy's mansion, and as you all know, it didn't go well. If you remember, Justin even posted a video about this on his YouTube channel. You could clearly see how uncomfortable he was. At first, he looked excited, thinking he was going to have a great time with Diddy, but he quickly realized it went way beyond that.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Takes any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
So, do you all remember when Katt Williams went on Club Shay Shay and said this?
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come, you're 18, you get the house. You get the mansion. Okay, I get the mansion. Yeah.
At the time, it seemed like an innocent interaction. But Justin hasn't been the same ever since. He struggled with addiction and went through a major personal transformation. At one point, he even turned to Christianity and chose to get married earlier than planned, possibly as a way to step back from the pressures of the industry.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah. Bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
Signing the bad boy.
It's your icon alert.
But even then, they didn't let him off easily. In fact, many believe this is a major reason why he was so protective of Billie Eilish when she entered the industry. He knew what the industry could do to young artists like her and did everything he could to prevent it from happening.
Feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So, yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So, yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Now, this is where Katt Williams comes in. If you've been paying attention to anything he's said, you already know that he has hinted at these so-called mentorships in the industry for a long time. At one point, he was almost a victim himself, so he knows exactly what he's talking about. The shocking part is that Diddy was reportedly one of the people who tried to manipulate him. Katt claims that Diddy even offered him $50 million on multiple occasions to get under his wing, but he turned it down each time because he knew exactly what came with it. I mean, just look at Justin. The man hasn't been the same for years. And it doesn't seem like that trauma will ever truly go away.
I had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting about it. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
Katt also said that Diddy wasn't the only one who tried to initiate this kind of deal with him. Allegedly, Harvey Weinstein attempted to coerce him into performing sexual acts in exchange for a movie role, but Katt refused and didn't go along with it.
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, there's 3 other black guys on there. Woo! Huh.
So you wonder what they did?
I told him no. What y'all do?
Now, I'm not saying that Justin was definitely used and discarded by Diddy, but judging from the evidence we have, it seems like something along those lines may have happened. Allegedly, Usher played a role in facilitating it. People are convinced of this because when Usher introduced Justin to Diddy, it wasn't exactly a secret that Diddy had a history of inappropriate behavior. In fact, Usher himself has been rumored to be a victim of Diddy, and there are receipts to support it. Usher and Diddy have been close associates dating all the way back to the 90s, when L.A. Reid introduced Usher to Diddy at just 14 years old. The plan was for Diddy to mentor him and help develop his skills as a singer, but reportedly, Diddy had other intentions. Usher fueled these rumors during his 2005 cover story for Essence magazine. According to those present during the interview, he answered most questions comfortably, but when asked about the wild activities he was allegedly forced into at Diddy's house, he reportedly got nervous. He said, "I want to save some for my book one day. I'll put it this way, there was a lot of let's not forget the email that went viral from someone working on Kim Porter's book, which claimed that Kim wrote Diddy had supposedly been with Usher and passed him an STD. The email read, some of the things in the book cover Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom. Here's where it gets even more complicated. Although both Usher and Justin were allegedly mistreated by Diddy and forced into things they didn't want, Usher has remained close to Diddy and his crew, including Russell Simmons. Usher was even mentioned in a sexual assault lawsuit filed against Diddy by producer Lil Rod, and reports suggest he may have participated in some of the same activities Diddy was involved in. This is part of the reason many people, including Justin, believe Usher may still be under Diddy's influence to this day. Apparently, these situations never fully stopped, which is also why Usher has never publicly called Diddy out. In fact, during a recent interview, he explicitly stated that he will never stop supporting Diddy.
I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created, and I acknowledge that. And that's why I see him as legacy.
Yeah. You told Shannon Sharp you learned a lot about business during that era.
Absolutely.
What'd you learn?
Puff was a mentor but he was like you have that really, really hard teacher, but you're watching something in real time. You know, I think that the idea of the level of discipline that came with that time in business, especially in an era that was trying to prove itself culturally.
Let's not forget the wild allegations that Diddy's former bodyguard made about Usher a while ago. According to Gene, Mace, and Usher, they literally witnessed everything Diddy did and even have receipts to prove it, but they are hesitant to make the evidence public. Gene also confirmed the rumors that Diddy allegedly had inappropriate interactions with Usher when he was just 14 years old. He even claimed that, at one point, Diddy treated Usher so roughly that Usher had to be sent to a historian for care.
Live with Diddy, and he know a lot of stuff about Diddy that a lot of people don't know.
Man, it's a lot of stuff that Mace and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher, though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy, too, when he was younger. Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
As usual, people had their opinions. One person said, yeah, Justin Bieber should have chin-checked his jaw and knocked that man out on the spot. He didn't do enough. Another added, I wonder if that's why Justin turned down the halftime show with Usher. But now, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Katt exposing Diddy and Usher for allegedly using Justin? And do you really believe this is why Justin is the way he is today? Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.